Most tax resolution companies aren't tax companies at all. They're sales and marketing companies that happen to dabble in tax work. After 20 years in this business, I've seen the ugly truth behind the industry's biggest names. Here's why they fail their clients. The modern tax resolution industry was built on a flawed foundation. In the late 1990s, someone figured out you could make more money selling tax services than actually providing them. The model was simple. Hire salespeople, not tax experts. Open hundreds of sales offices. Centralize operations to minimize costs. The math was brutal. These companies had hundreds of sales offices, but only one or two operation centers. That means 95% of their locations were nothing but sales floors. No CPAs, no tax attorneys, no enrolled agents. Just commission-driven salespeople promising miracles they couldn't deliver. This became the blueprint for the entire industry. Heavy marketing spend, aggressive sales tactics, minimal actual tax expertise. The results were predictable: massive consumer complaints, regulatory shutdowns, and billions in consumer losses. Here's how the scam works. Step 1. Spend millions on TV and radio ads promising pennies on the dollar settlements. Step 2. Hire minimum wage call center workers to set appointments. Step 3. Bring desperate taxpayers into free consultations that are actually high-pressure sales presentations. The salesperson's only job is to close the deal. They'll tell you anything to get you to sign. You definitely qualify for tax relief. We can settle your debt for a fraction of what you owe. Our ex-IRS agents will fight for you. None of it's true. They're paid to sell, not to analyze your case. Once you pay the upfront fee, usually $3,000 to $7,000, your case gets shipped to a corporate office where overworked, underpaid staff members handle hundreds of cases. These aren't the tax experts you were promised. They're often recent college graduates making $15 per hour with no tax experience. The caseworker assigned to your file might be handling over 200 cases simultaneously. They've never met you, they don't understand your specific situation, they're following a cookie-cutter checklist designed to process cases as quickly as possible, not to get optimal results. Most of these companies run on the churn-and-burn model. They know most cases won't get good results, but they don't care. They've already collected their fee up front. Your success isn't tied to their profit. In fact, spending too much time on your case hurts their bottom line. The Federal Trade Commission has shut down dozens of these companies over the years, returning hundreds of millions to scammed customers. But that's usually only 10 to 20% of what clients originally paid. The rest is gone, spent on Ferrari payments and Beverly Hills offices. But here's the kicker. When these companies shut down, their employees just start new companies using the same model. The owners open new firms under different names. The cycle continues because the business model is profitable, even if it destroys clients' lives. The real tragedy is the timeline. Most tax resolution takes 6 to 18 months when done properly, but these companies need to show progress to avoid refund requests. So they submit garbage applications to the IRS just to say they're working on it. When the IRS rejects these applications, they blame the client or the system. I've seen cases where companies charged $5,000 to submit an offer in compromise that any tax professional could see would be rejected. The client's financial situation made them ineligible from day one, but the company collected the fee and submitted it anyway, knowing it would fail. The maintenance fee scam is particularly cruel. They'll charge you $300 to $500 monthly while your case is pending. Then they'll deliberately drag out the process to collect more fees. I've seen companies keep clients on monthly payments for 2 to 3 years for cases that should have been resolved in 6 months. The outsourcing problem is massive. Many companies outsource their actual tax work overseas. Your so-called ex-IRS agent might be a recent college graduate who's never seen an IRS office. They're working from scripts and templates, not professional experience. The quality control is non-existent. I've reviewed cases where companies submitted forms with obvious errors, missing information, or ridiculous offers. The IRS rejects these immediately, but the company still keeps the fee. The bait and switch is standard practice. They'll advertise offers in compromise for pennies on the dollar, but then switch you to a basic installment agreement when they realize you don't qualify. You paid $5,000 for something you could have set up yourself for free. Most companies staff their customer service with people who can't actually help you. They're trained to deflect complaints, not solve problems. They'll tell you your case is progressing normally or under review while nothing actually happens. It's designed to minimize refund requests. The worst part, many of these companies actually make situations worse. They'll stop clients from filing current returns, miss deadlines, or submit applications that restart collection statutes. I've seen cases where clients owed $30,000 before hiring a company and $45,000 after due to accumulated penalties and interest. The refund policies are designed to prevent refunds. They'll claim they've started work on your case as soon as you pay, even if that work is just opening a file folder. They'll point to their contract's fine print that makes refunds nearly impossible to obtain. The real business model is lead generation. Many companies sell their leads to other companies. Your personal information gets passed around to anyone willing to pay. That's why you'll get calls from multiple tax companies after contacting one. The legitimate tax professionals who work for these companies are trapped in an impossible situation. They're forced to work with cases that were oversold by salespeople. They know they can't deliver the promised results, but they still have to try to make something work. The volume model destroys quality. When your goal is to process thousands of cases as quickly as possible, you can't provide personalized service. Every case gets the same treatment, regardless of specific circumstances. It's McDonald's approach to complex tax problems. The regulatory environment is part of the problem. Many states don't regulate tax resolution companies the same way they regulate licensed tax professionals. So these companies can make promises and use tactics that would get a CPA or attorney sanctioned. The advertising creates unrealistic expectations. When you see ads promising eliminate your tax debt or stop the IRS today, you expect miraculous results. The reality is that most tax resolution involves negotiating payment plans, not eliminating debt. The solution? Work with local licensed tax professionals who specialize in your specific problem. Ask for references, check their credentials, understand that good tax resolution takes time and requires honest assessment of your situation. Most importantly, remember that if someone promises you can qualify for tax relief over the phone, they're lying. Only the IRS can determine what you qualify for. Any company making guarantees before reviewing your full financial situation is running a scam. The tax resolution industry could be legitimate. There are real professionals doing excellent work, but the big marketing companies have poisoned the well with their sales-driven approach. They've given the entire industry a bad reputation, while enriching themselves at desperate taxpayers' expense. After 20 years of cleaning up after these companies, I can tell you that most tax problems have reasonable solutions, but you won't find them from companies that spend more on advertising than they do on actual tax professionals. Choose expertise over marketing, and you'll save yourself thousands in fees and years of frustration.